Good evening and welcome into the final news center of the semester. I'm Ryan Kaufman.
And I'm Danny Beck. We begin with breaking news tonight as we received word at 3:30 this afternoon that John Glenn, the first American to orbit Earth, had passed away at the age of 95.
John Glenn was a military pilot and a U.S. Senator for the state of Ohio and received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. John is survived by his wife, Angie Glenn. In other news this evening, the end of the semester is now upon us and your CalU Text Alert subscription could be ending. Students should remember to either sign up or resubscribe by going to calu.edu, click on the Quick Links tab, select the CalU Text Alert subscription, and enter your CalU username and password and follow the directions on the screen. You will not ever receive spam or an overabundance of messages, but instead timely campus alerts in the event of an emergency or if the campus closes early due to inclement weather.
As commencement is rapidly approaching, the university has chosen James Stofan, who will address the students of the 183rd graduating class of CalU. Mr. Stofan is currently the Vice President for Alumni Relations at the University of Tulane in New Orleans. Prior to his position at Tulane, Mr. Stofan received his Bachelor of Science in Education in 1971 from CalU, where he received the Student Government's Distinguished Service Award for his volunteer work with various student activities. He then went on to obtain his master's degree in college student personnel from Connecticut State University. Do you have a parking permit and plan on bringing your car back to campus for the spring semester? Don't forget to either renew or return your permit before December 31st, 2016, or your permit will be deactivated and you could be cited for using an expired permit. To renew your permit for the spring 2017 term, go to calu.edu/parking and select Purchase Permit. Log on to your account and you're in the clear. If you have any questions, visit the Office of Parking and Transportation between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m.
We are just 8 days away from the CalU dorms closing for the holiday break, and the resident directors of the dorms want you to know a few things before you walk out of your room to head home to your family. Make sure to turn off all lights in the room. Close and lock all windows. Move all items away from your HVAC unit or a fine could be issued per item due to vent cleaning. Turn thermostat to auto, heat, and 70, and finally make sure you turn in your room key. Next, the halls will close at 8 p.m. on Friday, December 16th, and will not reopen until 2 p.m. on January 22nd. Do not turn in your Cal card when turning in your room key. If your room key is not turned in, there will be a minimum fine of $50 and could go up to $180, depending on the room. Finally, there will be no re-entry into the dorms once they are closed. If anyone does attempt to gain entry, it will be considered criminal trespassing.
CalU's Student Government and University President Geraldine Jones donated new and unwrapped toys to benefit Toys for Tots last Thursday to help the 96.1 KISS FM stuff a bus drive. A record 57 buses were stuffed to help less fortunate kids in the community experience the joy of the holidays. Thank you to all of those who volunteered to help a great cause and to help kids in the community. With finals week being less than a week away, students all over campus will be cramming and studying in preparation for the last test of the semester. The Mandarino Library is hosting a de-stress fest to allow students to take a break from the studying and relax before finals week. Therapy dogs came to the first floor of the library just yesterday to mark the beginning of the week-long schedule of events. Other events this week will include a massage therapist, holiday crafts, and free coffee throughout the full week of finals. Make sure to check out all of the great events from now until December 16th.
This past Sunday, CalU Student Center played host to the 2016 Holiday event, where the community could come out and enjoy a cup of hot chocolate, let their children take photos with Santa, and were even treated to a special sneak peek of the 2016 CalU Theater Department's rendition of The Happy Elf. Here now is a sneak peek of that rendition.
Smile sound enticing,
Totaling out of control,
turning your gray skies to icing.
making my world.
The community came out in full force this year for a night full of good cheer and to create memories that will last a lifetime. A man is now in custody in Washington, D.C. after he walked into a pizza place and opened fire. The reason? A conspiracy theory that was sparked by fake news on social media that has since been termed Pizzagate. The suspect, Edgar Welch, drove from North Carolina to the nation's capital to self-investigate the theory that Hillary Clinton and her campaign chief, John Podesta, ran a child abuse ring. The pizzeria owner and staff have been receiving death threats as a result of this conspiracy. Right now, local business owners are speaking out because they say the FBI and local police did nothing to investigate the threats, and as a result, they say this entire incident could have been avoided. All right, so there's something trending on Twitter right now. It's called #How2016 Can Redeem Itself, Danny. And there's a few things here that drew my attention. That's why I brought them up. What do you have on this list?
I know that the first thing, any second now, the director will say cut, and 2016 will win Best Picture. That one's a funny one. But then also that's we'll wake up and everything is a nightmare. All that stuff. Going along with the nightmare, Prince, Bowie, and Alan Rickman all passing away. That's awful. But any stick out to you?
At the very least, after all we've been through, just give Twitter an edit button. I think that pretty much sums up 2016 right there.
Most definitely does.
All right, when we come back, Dalton Lochran has your weather forecast from the Cal U Weather Center, and Dylan Goday will be here on set to talk with us about that. Stay tuned.
Back for its third season. With more live episodes and brand new games. With host Stephen Ruffing. It's
Student meteorologist Dalton Lochran here in the Cal U Weather Center. If we look at temperatures across the nation, we'll see 11 degrees in Denver, a whopping 80 degrees down in Miami. We'll notice these 20s and 30s across the Mid-Atlantic states. Those will drop off in the beginning of next week. I'll tell you more about that later. If we look at the radar currently, we see lake effect snow starting to take place. We'll see that take place overnight tonight into tomorrow. And if we look for Oregon, Idaho, and Washington, we see another low pressure system that works its way east, and it will create localized feet of snow in the mountains. If we look forward today, we see this Arctic wind blowing across the region. We'll see heavier squalls toward the western half of Michigan, basically where you see that lake effect snow take place more likely. See Buffalo, just south of Buffalo, they're expecting up to 12 inches of snow tonight. If we look for tomorrow, we see that lake effect snow continuing to take place. This will take place again as another low pressure system works in the area. We see this blustery cold wind. Temperatures will get cold quick, and we'll notice that come into play next week as well as we see more lake effect snow possible. This low pressure system I was telling you about, it's going to work its way east. Now the tricky part about this forecast is it's only going to be a thin line of storms. This could go north or south. If it goes south, here in Pittsburgh, we can see 1 to 3 inches of snow possible, as well as some lake effect snow will kick in, and sometimes we've had those streamers work its way down to Pittsburgh as well. If we look for snowfall throughout the weekend, we could see 1 to 3 inches. Like I said, it all depends on where that line of storms heads. If it goes north, we might not see anything. We might see less than 1 inch of snow altogether by the end of the weekend. Keep tuned. Stay tuned to your localized government forecast to be sure exactly what's going on with that system. If we look for the next 7 days, mostly cloudy tomorrow with a snow shower possible. See this weekend, rain will taper off with some snow. When the temperatures start to drop off, we'll see that snow. Rain to start off the week next week. We see that cold temperature of 12 degrees Wednesday night. Thursday morning will be even colder. We could see temperatures in the single digits. Now back to Danny and Ryan at the desk.
Dalton did a great job there. It's his first time. He's a freshman. He's actually going into broadcast meteorology, which that's the first guy we've had, guy or girl, doing broadcast meteorology for CUTV since last year with Damon Matson. So good to get him going with that.
Absolutely. It's always great to see people take that initiative to do broadcast over there instead of like the operational field.
Yeah, he's really talented in the broadcasting side of it. So he should be getting a lot of work doing the CUTV weather forecast.
Definitely, and I kind of liked what he was talking about too. I know that there's more winter weather coming in. Out by me, there's not going to be any snow, which unfortunately I love snow. But it didn't look like there was going to be any snow, unless that's wrong, Dylan?
Yeah, it should be. It's going to be questionable there. He's talking about Saturday and the Monday. It's just what kind of track that system takes. Right now, it's looking like it's taking a more northerly track, which doesn't really mean too much snow for us. But we could get some lake effect behind the system. So no big something to worry about. But next week, definitely temperatures go way down, well below average. We're looking today 10 to 15 degrees below average next week.
I did see some flurries today too. That was a sight for sore eyes,
Well,
I guess you could say.
the advantage of this is every December the last 10 years has been well above average. So now it's kind of nice to get a cold shot here before winter even starts.
I remember Christmas Eve last year. I had back home in Ohio. I had my windows opened and it was warm outside.
Yeah. So it's some people think it's bad, and some people you can look at it in a positive way. It is a cold shot that we don't normally get in December.
Definitely. We come back after the break. Stephen Ruffing takes us on a trip around the entertainment world. Stay tuned.
This season, the pride and pageantry of college football
Is that a catch? Oh, yeah!
can all be found in one place.
He will score! Touchdown!
NCAA.com. From the biggest matchups come breakout performances.
Heaving one deep.
Those game-changing moments live here. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com. From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
CUTV Newscenter is California University of Pennsylvania's award-winning student television newscast. Your source for live, local, late-breaking news. Forecasts from the CalU Weather Center. The region's latest entertainment news. Vulcan sports highlights and regional scoreboards. With television news coverage you can't get anywhere else. Watch it live Thursdays on CUTV and on demand. CUTV News Center. Online all the time.
Welcome back to CUTV Newscenter. I'm Stephen Ruffing with your entertainment report. The Student Activities Board is known for their great events, but this week some activities were canceled. The campus spa event that was scheduled for next Monday was canceled for unknown reasons. Along with the new event's cancellation, a fan favorite, Stuff-A-Buddy, was also canceled. SAB says that the event scheduled for Friday was put on hold due to supplier issues, or in other words, buddy issues. Stuff-A-Buddy will return next semester. Last Thursday marked the first day of a holiday tradition on Freeform. 25 Days of Christmas kicked off on the 1st of December and will continue until Christmas Day. Freeform's programming will be filled with the best Christmas movies that they have to offer. The movies include National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Elf, Home Alone 1, 2, and 3, plus many more of your favorite holiday movies. Be sure to get in the Christmas spirit this December. The CalU Theater Department are getting in their holiday spirit for the winter musical, The Happy Elf. The musical is about one of Santa's helpers, You Be the Elf, whose Christmas spirit is put to the test when he sets out to bring joy to a dreary town called Bluesville. The musical's director, Dr. Michelle Pagan, says that The Happy Elf is jazzy and fun, but also has a heartwarming message. The show times will be 7 p.m. December 8th through the 10th, and 2 p.m. December 10th and 11th. Tickets will be $12 to all patrons and 50 cents to Cal students with valid Cal cards. Although Student Activities Board canceled Stuff-A-Buddy, they were able to lift the spirits of the students back up with a big surprise at last week's Funny Freaking Friday. SAB announced to the students that Dave Coulier, Joey from Full House, will be performing here at Cal U for next semester's first Funny Freaking Friday in Steele Hall. Tickets are going on sale right now at the information desk in Natali. Tickets are $2, and each student will be able to purchase a maximum of 2 tickets. Make sure you jump on this opportunity to see a great performer. And to round out the entertainment for this week, we have Elf in the Vulcan Theater. Buddy, an orphan baby, accidentally transported to the North Pole and raised as one of Santa's elves. When Buddy feels that he doesn't fit in at the North Pole, he travels to New York City to find his real dad. After DNA test proves that the businessman Walter Hobbs is his father, Buddy attempts to rekindle their relationship. Showtimes are 11 a.m., 7 p.m., and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 4, 7, and 10 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays. Now, there was a lot of Christmas spirit in this week's entertainment report, and Elf being in the Vulcan Theater, 25 Days of Christmas being in the Vulcan Theater, or being on Freeform, I'm sorry. What's your guys' favorite Christmas movies?
I mean, I said Home Alone 1 and 2, but that's tentative. Also, I love Elf. I can watch Elf over and over and over again. But yeah, definitely Home Alone 1 and 2. The third and I believe, is there a fourth Home Alone?
No, there's just
the three. The third one is okay.
Right.
I think the first 2 are
Now, if you had to
solid.
pick a favorite, well, which one?
Home Alone 1.
Home Alone, the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan.
So, I like Elf, but one of my favorites is A Christmas Story. Everyone hates it because, what is it, TNT or something like that, plays it over and over and over on Christmas Eve. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, but I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Home Alone 2. Actually,
Home Alone 2, okay.
Home Alone 2. I do get a kick out of that one. So that's mine.
They're
glad.
all good though. All holiday movies are amazing.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, I'm glad you guys are getting in the Christmas spirit.
Always.
All right, thanks, Steve. When we return, Anthony D'Agostino has your sports report. Stay tuned.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Enough. Yeah, I'm over it.
We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful.
No thanks.
Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
Welcome, Coach Gary Dunn.
Right there is the best receiver you're going to see in Division II football right there. No question about it.
California gets the win. What a game.
This has been a dream of mine to come back to California University and lead this program. You got to put your best foot forward.
2016 Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference champion. California's back, folks.
Welcome back to CUTV Newscenter. I'm Anthony D'Agostino with your sports report. This past weekend, the California Vulcans football team played in the NCAA regional final game. This is the first time since 2011 that the Vulcans are playing for the regional final. Let's go to Addison Stadium for the highlights. California kicked the field goal to start off, and then right away they get a touchdown there by Nick Grissom to make the score 10-0, and then to make it 17-0, Gary Brown takes a punt return all the way back for a touchdown over 50 yards on that punt return to make the score 17-0. And now, a handoff to Lavac for Shepherd puts them on the board in the first quarter to score 17-7. And Michael Keir, looking at pass, gets hit on his blind side, fumbles the ball. Shepherd picks it up and goes untouched into the end zone for another Shepherd touchdown to make it 17-14. As they're playing it again, Jeff Ziemba passes it off to Billy Brown, one of their best receivers and one of the best receivers in the Super Region 1, as he muscles his way into the end zone, giving Shepherd the lead, coming back 17-0 down. Now they're up 21-17 as Michael Keir passes it deep down the field to Gary Brown, and Gary Brown breaks the tackle and goes into the end zone for a California touchdown. Score 24-21, and then Michael Keir, once again, quick slant pass to Gary Brown, puts him on the board yet again and put him up 30-21. As quarterback Jeff Ziemba passes it again, this time it's a quick slant pattern to Billy Brown as he scores, but the ensuing kick is blocked at the line. California will pick it up as the ball is squirting all over the place there and gets picked up there, but no two-point conversion for California. 27-30 the score here. A quick pass to the end zone as Shepherd again takes the lead now 34-30, and a QB sneak by quarterback Jeff Ziemba makes the score 41-30. Cal trying to do something on offense. In the end of the game, Keir gets sacked on the play, and that'll be the last play of the contest. The number 3 team, Shepherd, beat the number 1 California team 41-30. Gary Brown had 10 receptions and 127 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a punt return. Michael Keir had 21 for 41 in terms of completions, 269 yards and 2 touchdowns, and was sacked 5 times, the most all season. And Cal, their loss, snapped a 15-game win streak. And with that loss, here's a look back at how the Vulcans got to this game, and how their season went. The Caillou Vulcans football team came into this season uncertain of a new head coach and uncertain of how well the team would perform this season. The Vulcans started off strong as they beat 2 PSAC East lesser opponents. Their first test would come at Seton Hill for the PSAC West opener. They handled Seton Hill with ease, but the next game, they couldn't take a break as they had to take on number 9 Slippery Rock at home. The game started off close, but Cal was starting to show their true colors this season as they won 52-26. Once again, the Vulcans would have to prove themselves in their next game. They took on number 6 and arch rival IUP under the lights at home for the 8th annual Coal Bowl. The game was back and forth until William Brazil kicked what would be the game-winning field goal.
Kick is up, and it is good.
And IUP ran out of time. After that game, Cal proved they were back and atop the PSAC leaderboard. After beating number 24 Edinburgh at home, Cal had won the right to host the 2016 PSAC championship game against the PSAC East team, Kutztown. This was the first time since 2009 since the Vulcans were in a championship game. Cal dominated the entire game and ended up winning 49-7. This was the first time since 2008 Cal hoisted the PSAC trophy. Cal's dream season wasn't done. After going undefeated in the regular season, they had to once again face arch-rival IUP at home in the second round of the NCAA playoffs. This one wasn't as close as after IUP scored 17 unanswered points, Cal came back to win 44-23. However, in the next round, Cal took on regional powerhouse Shepherd, and Shepherd proved to be too tough for Cal as they fell 30-41, and their dream season ended. The Vulcans football team performed better than anyone thought they could preseason, where the Vulcans were predicted to only reach 3rd place in the PSAC West. After this season, the Vulcans will look to once again be atop the leaderboard next season. It's early December, and that can mean only one thing. It's basketball season. The Caillou men's basketball team came into this preseason without a head coach as Bill Brown stepped down after his team went 7-21 last season. With the new season already in swing, here's a preview of this upcoming season provided by Sports Information grad assistant Matt Hagee.
For 20 seasons, California Vulcan men's basketball fans had seen one man pace the sidelines of the California basketball courts. That was Bill Brown. Brown retired at the end of last season, which opened the door for a fresh face to take over the program in Kent McBride. McBride came to Cal after leading the Concord Mountain Lions to their first ever Mountain East Conference Tournament championship in school history last season. Through the first month of this young season, McBride and the Vulcans have experienced some growing pains. However, that is expected with a brand new team.
We're shooting for January, February, new coaching staff, all new players, so it's going to take time, but it's always better when you win, and part of that is we have to learn how to win, and we are.
One positive has been the play of freshman Ramon Creighton. Creighton has hit the ground running this season by currently leading the team in points per game at 19.3 and comes off a 36-point performance against Cheney over the weekend. Along with the emergence of Creighton, fans will still see familiar faces on the floor such as Daniel Sapp, Tony Richardson, and Nick Miller. The trio of juniors look to help the Vulcans bounce back when PSAC West play starts over the break. One thing is certain, McBride brings energy to the California program that is exactly what they've needed. With time and patience, the Vulcans could reemerge as a PSAC contender once again.
The CUTV women's basketball team is off to their best start since the 2003-2004 season when they won the national championship for the first time. They are undefeated this season so far at 9-0. They also have the highest ranking to start this season in 5 years, and as you can see there on the graphic, California is number 3 in the nation, just underneath Ashland and Emporia State. The only other Atlantic region team in the national top 10 here is the number 6 team, Virginia Union, and they went to the Elite 8 last season. For the women's basketball team, we will have a full preview package to start the next semester. Now it's time for the Vulcan Hammer Award. For this week's Vulcan Hammer Award, I've selected Vulcan's men's basketball athlete, Raymond Creighton. Creighton is a freshman from Pittsburgh City School Taylor Alderdice. He's having a stellar start to the season. He's averaging 19.3 points per game. He's 48% from the field and 64.6% from the charity stripe. In the game against Cheney, Creighton scored a career-high 36 points. He's definitely one to look out for this season. As a freshman, he can only get better. And guys, Coach Gary Dunn, we kind of saw him on that football season review package I did, and just an outstanding start for him for his first season, getting the AFCA Regional Coach of the Year award, and just a great job by Coach Gary Dunn this season. And it was very fun to be able to watch this team perform.
Yeah, I loved following them every game, starting out back in Cheney, ending at the regional final. It was a great season.
Yeah, and I knew that this team was going to be special, like what you said, back in Cheney. For Gary Dunn coming back to the university, his alma mater, from Duquesne, and really just turning this team around, he did a great job at that, and just applaud the Cal Vulcans for just a great season, really. And
we'll see if they can once again be, like I said before, top the leaderboard next season, and they'll be without Gary Brown, but I mean they still got a lot of some threats there, and it's going to be fun to watch Coach Gary Dunn, especially in the offseason. And I can't wait to see what he tries to do to get the students involved, because he's very big on that too, which I really like to see.
Yeah, it's awesome to see him at sporting events, basketball games. I know basketball season, I'm sure the Vulcans are going to be at every single one of those events. Just his presence at the university is just something that you'd like to see.
Quick question about the women's basketball team. Was there any other PSAC team in that rankings?
No.
None at all?
No, just Cal.
That's cool.
Applaud them.
Yeah. All right, so before we end our final news center for the semester, I want to go ahead and call out Mason Brow from the control room. He is a graduating senior. We just kind of found out about this today. Come on up here. He's been working behind the scenes for us. He's one of my favorite packages that I worked with you on was the Frosty Frolic last year.
Water still was cold, man.
So, any plans after this?
Get an apartment, get a dog, get a job.
Those are. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, we want to thank. Oh, we're over here. We want to thank everyone that's behind the scenes, everyone that's back in the booth all year, and thank you for tuning into CUTV this semester for your local news, following your Vulcan sports as well.
We will be back in January to provide coverage of the spring 2017 athletics and also news from around the area and original programming.
Be sure to check out our YouTube channel at CUTV Newscenter and our Twitter pages CUTV_PA and CUTV_Newscenter.
Thanks for watching and have a great winter break.